Hello everyone, this is part 1 of my response to an article written in the Korea Times by Choi Shi-young. It is titled, The Differences Between Koreans and Foreigners. Dear Mr. Choi, I'm an American living in Seoul as an English teacher and came across your article about the differences between Koreans and foreigners. And at first I thought it might have been a puff piece, maybe written in the tone of an everyday BuzzFeed writer. But what I found was a very biased and ill-researched article claiming foreigners living in Korea are unwanted, in fact, even unneeded. And while you may not have intended to come off that way, I find hatred in your voice. First, you talk about foreigners who come to Korea to teach English but face unexpected difficulties that come with cultural differences. Whenever you travel outside of a country, you go through a culture shock. But your example to contrast this culture shock is that you've met foreigners who are willing to teach Korean students English with enthusiasm and kindness. They also hope to learn Korean culture and the Korean language, which is laudable and respectful. That tells me and other readers that you find most foreigners who come to Korea to be unwilling to teach English with kindness and unwilling to learn about Korean culture. And the thing you don't understand is when foreigners come to teach English, they're making a commitment for a long period of time. It's 6 months to a year that they are changing their lives and adapting to a new culture. For you to say that foreigners are not here to learn as well as teach shows that you are very unhappy about the foreigner population in your country. You talked about how some foreigners ask too much personal information or give out too much personal information in the first meeting. And while you call it culturally shocking, I call it hypocritical. I've had students both adult and junior age ask me on the first day when they meet me how old I am, how much do I weigh, and do I have a boyfriend. Koreans tend to seek this information from foreigners, so maybe out of habit we give out this information up front because we know you're going to ask us anyway. You've talked about how Western women are more willing to shake hands due to confidence while Korean women don't due to being more passive. This is true in a sense because Korea still has an outdated mindset when it comes to gender roles. Koreans expect women to get married, have children, and only become homemakers, solely devoted to their husband as a slave is to its master. Korean women want to be protected from men, even though women's rights have tremendously been raised. Not only is this misogynistic, but this shows how selfish Korean men are. They expect their mothers to feed them, do their laundry, and clean for them until they leave their mother's home. And when they get married, that care shifts to their wife. You say that Western women think that they are equal to men. That is fact, not opinion. We are equal to men. Western women are raised to believe that we are equal because we are all humans, okay? We bleed, we have skeletons in us, and we have dignity. So telling us that we think we are equal shows that you believe we aren't. And based off of this opinion, you've been getting some backlash from not only foreigners, but from women in general. And as my coworker said while reading your article, you sound like a woman beater. Then you talked about a friend's husband who invited you out to dinner, and while you already had plans, you canceled them in order to attend. You say it's because Koreans are emotional and considerate. But this is not you being emotional and considerate. This is you wanting to schmooze and get attention from us foreigners. This is the same as when my junior students act out in class so that I will punish them. It draws attention that they are craving from me. You say Koreans tend to sacrifice their time to help our friends because you don't want to disappoint or hurt people. This again goes with your constant attention seeking. Westerners don't expect you to drop everything and come spend time with us. And while we are individualistic, we are also considerate, so that if you can't go, we understand, and then we invite you to the next event. So you canceling your plans is not considerate. It's really only hurting yourself. Lastly, with this article, I see that you've based your experience with other cultures solely on the international language exchange group you've joined here in Korea. And while some Westerners don't come to Korea with good cultural intentions, you've made this assumption solely on these few people who are exceptions to the rule. And these people do not represent all of Americans, Canadians, Australians, or other Western foreigners. And I don't think I will hold my breath in hopes that you will do better research in your forthcoming articles.